Hey guys, welcome back to Delaware Acre. Guess what we're making? Can you guess? Can you guess? We are making salsa. I have tons of tomatoes in the freezer and I'm letting them sit in this colander or in many colanders until they thaw some so I could pull the skins off. Last year I just tossed everything frozen into my giant roaster and started making salsa that way, and we had skins galore, and my husband asked if we could make it without the skins this year. So I am meticulously de-skinning all these tomatoes before we start. The 6 bags that I had, last of the green tomatoes that have turned. Some of them are kind of getting a little gross, so I need to get through these and let these thaw. 6 1-gallon bags. These are frozen solid. I literally just pulled them out of the freezer, but some of them, like these, froze individually, and these are like loose. These guys like this that are like solid like that are taking a long time to thaw. Separate ones like this are thawing a little quicker. So I'm actually gonna put a towel underneath here and let these thaw for the day. And then this is the result of 3 freezer bags full. The skin's pulled right off. Just letting them drip into the sink there. There will be seeds in this salsa, so if you are an anti-seed person, I'm not sure if this salsa is for you, but there will be seeds. And then, gosh, it's just making a mess of the kitchen. I also have the very last of the peppers from my garden. They're getting a little soft, so I'm going to chop these up in anticipation to use them for the salsa. Now it just becomes a waiting game for these to thaw out. So, all right, I'll bring you back when these are thawed. Much later in the day. Half of the skins already did a load out to the compost, letting everything drip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna need a bigger pot. 8, 9. So this is 40 cups of tomatoes chopped, roughly. Gonna need a bigger pot, so stay tuned. I ended up needing to step out of the kitchen for the rest of the day. On the day I started the salsa endeavor, so I just stuck that whole stock pot, all 40 cups in that pot, into the refrigerator overnight, and decided that since my pot isn't big enough to do everything in the one single stock pot, I decided to use the smaller pan and make a spicier batch of salsa. I had some requests for some spicy salsa, and this measuring cup that I'm using is a 4-cup measuring cup, and the recipe calls for 9 cups of chopped tomatoes, and I just kind of rounded it to 8 cups because my tomatoes aren't necessarily chopped, and I have onion that we chopped up, hot peppers, more hot peppers, and unlabeled sweet peppers. So we're gonna do this much sweet peppers. We want this to be spicy. I want this to be hot. I was told that my hot salsa last year didn't have much heat to it, so we're gonna do more hot peppers. This recipe calls for 3 cups of chopped green peppers and 3 to 4 jalapeños, and just leaving the seeds in. if you want some more spice, but I'm going to switch it up and put more hot peppers in than sweet peppers. Onions. It says 3 cups, so I'm going to start this one medium low. 1 cup of vinegar. Salt. Need 6 teaspoons, which would be, what's that, 2 tablespoons? So 2. Getting her to have a little extra. The recipe calls for 8 cloves of garlic, so I'm just going to put this whole thing in there. The recipe calls for 1 can of tomato paste. Oh, it says 12 ounces, so 2 cans. The recipe says after putting all the ingredients together, mix them well and simmer for 20 to 30 minutes. I guess just depending on how thick or thin you like your salsa, you could simmer it a little longer or you could simmer it a little less, just depending on the consistency that you prefer. I simmered this salsa for closer to 30 minutes, maybe a little over 30 minutes, and it got a little on the thick side, but that's okay. It'll be a thicker, chunkier salsa. I decided to go ahead and put this into my food processor to try to make it a more consistent texture, and you'll see here I made a very big mess. I think that one I let it go a little bit too long because it's scorched on the bottom, so I'm gonna have to be a little more careful with this one. It's got my big old giant spoon out. This is like 2 feet long, so this still has a while to go. So it's actually still, oh, it's just starting to get warm on the outside. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this jarred up and get it ready and get my water bath canner out. My husband and I both tasted this batch of salsa, the spicier quote unquote, and it did not taste spicy. So I had these Tabasco peppers hanging that were dried, and I figured why not put those in there. And I just sprinkled the seeds in. I actually put the whole pod in there, and then I realized that I even blended this again, and the pod or the whole pepper didn't even blend up into the salsa. So I think I added 3 or 4, maybe even 5 of these, and with no addition of heat at all. Okay, so I tried this. Tried the salsa. Is no heat. Absolutely no heat. I added those Tabasco peppers. Still not a whole lot of heat. I went out to the garden and grabbed what was left on of a serrano and my little teeny tiny jalapeños and even a fresh Tabasco pepper. And I bit into the bottom of all of these, trying to see if any of them, well, I didn't bite that one because that one's gross, and I bit this one. There is not an ounce of heat in any of this. So I guess I'm just not going to have spicy salsa again this year. So yeah, all right. So I'm not really sure what happened with my hot pepper situation this year. I think what may have happened is I have saved my my seeds from years past, and I wonder if they cross-pollinated with either jalapeño seeds or even sweet pepper seeds, and I just have nothing with heat. So I think I'm just gonna have to buy some more seeds this year. Oh darn, I'll have to go through the seed catalog and find some spicy peppers to grow. But I went ahead and canned this quote unquote spicy or hot salsa up. I only got 5 jars out of it, which is fine. And while I was trying to get that water bath canner going, I couldn't take how messy the kitchen was. I made a mess, a complete mess with this using the blender or the food processor. I need to invest in a stick blender again. But yeah, you can see how much of a mess I made. So I try to clean up as I go along, and I ended up getting 2 canners out and just trying to rock it out. By the end of this process, there was tomato stuff everywhere. So two water bath canners was definitely the way to go. I was very lucky. And then here's the end result, all of the jars. And yeah, so the 2023 garden season salsa has been made, and actually at this point it's after Christmas, and I've given some of them out as Christmas gifts. So thanks for watching, and until the next video, I hope you're well. Take care. Bye.